When it comes to the search for life on Mars, we may have been focusing our efforts in the wrong place. Mars has long been considered one of the prime candidates for the search for extraterrestrial life, mainly because of the favorable conditions the planet is believed to have had in its first few billion years after formation. During that time, Mars was very different from the planet we know today. It had rivers, lakes, possibly even oceans, and was protected by a thicker atmosphere and a magnetic field that shielded the planet from solar radiation. In many ways, Mars resembled early Earth, leaving open the possibility that life could have emerged on its surface before the planet underwent radical changes that made it far less hospitable. For this reason, NASA's rovers, first Curiosity and now Perseverance, have been exploring strategic areas of the planet in search of evidence that might suggest the presence of ancient life. The Jezero crater, in particular, is of great interest because it once hosted a large lake and river delta where life forms could have thrived and left traces in the sediments. However, while this type of investigation is extremely valuable, there is another fascinating hypothesis. Perhaps we are looking in the wrong place, and incredibly, if life still exists on Mars, it might be alive today. To understand how life could have emerged on Mars, we must first consider how it emerged on Earth. Despite decades of research, the origin of life remains one of science's great mysteries. There are numerous theories, but we still don't have a definitive answer. What we do know is that there are a few fundamental elements required for life. Water is one of them, as every known form of life on Earth depends on it. Then, chemical processes capable of producing complex molecules, such as amino acids and proteins, the building blocks of life, are needed. Finally, a source of energy is required, which could come from geothermal heat, sunlight, or chemical reactions. On Earth, it is believed that life emerged in the depths of the oceans, near underwater thermal vents, where warm, mineral-rich water provided the ideal environment for the development of the first protocells. Similarly, Mars in its early billions of years had the right conditions: liquid water, active volcanism, and sources of chemical and solar energy. This has led scientists to consider Mars a potential twin of Earth in terms of habitability, at least in its youth. The problem is that Mars, unlike Earth, underwent a relatively rapid cooling process. After 1 to 2 billion years, the planet lost much of its liquid water, and the atmosphere was gradually swept away by solar winds due to the absence of a magnetic field to protect the planet. Therefore, if life ever formed on Mars, it would have had to emerge within this relatively short time frame. NASA has developed much of its missions based on this hypothesis, exploring locations like Jezero crater, which may contain fossil evidence of ancient life forms. By April 2024, Perseverance had already collected 21 rock samples, drilling into the Martian surface in search of traces of past life. Jezero crater, an ancient lake with its delta, could have accumulated and preserved the remains of any organisms that inhabited those waters. But what about life on Mars today? Although it seems unlikely that there are still rivers or lakes on the planet's surface, we cannot rule out the presence of liquid water underground. In 2018, a team of scientists announced the discovery of a liquid water lake trapped beneath Mars's southern polar ice cap, followed by the confirmation of 3 more lakes by 2020. This discovery immediately recalled Lake Vostok, a large body of water buried under 4 kilometers of ice in Antarctica. Incredibly, despite its isolation, Lake Vostok hosts bacteria and other forms of life, proving that life can thrive even in extremely hostile environments. However, the situation on Mars might be very different. Temperatures are extremely low, and the water beneath the Martian polar caps is believed to be highly saline. This makes it difficult for most known life forms to survive, as high salinity is harmful to many cells. Additionally, a recent study has cast doubt on the existence of these lakes, suggesting that the radar signals that led to their discovery might have been caused by layers of reflective dust, creating an optical illusion. Nonetheless, the Martian subsurface remains an intriguing place to search for life. Volcanic springs, such as those found in the Columbia Hills, could provide ideal conditions for life. On Earth, there is a vast underground ecosystem called the deep biosphere, extending for kilometers beneath the surface. In this hidden world, life does not depend on sunlight or oxygen, but thrives in extreme environments, fueled by chemical reactions and geothermal heat. The terrestrial deep biosphere hosts a surprising amount of biomass. In 2018, a group of over 1,000 scientists estimated that the total mass of life in Earth's subsurface is nearly 400 times greater than that of all humans on the surface. It is therefore possible that something similar exists on Mars. If life emerged on the planet and found refuge deep underground, it could still be there, adapted to the extreme conditions below the surface. Perhaps it is this life that is producing the methane detected by Curiosity in the Martian atmosphere, a sign of biological activity beneath the surface. If so, Mars would not be just a dead and barren world, but a planet still hosting life, even if hidden beneath kilometers of rock and ice. The possibility that life exists in underground lakes or volcanic springs on Mars raises fundamental questions about our understanding of biology and planetary habitability. The surface of Mars may appear desolate, but beneath it, there could be an entire ecosystem waiting to be discovered. The search for life on Mars is still in its early stages, and we may have only just begun to scratch the surface, both literally and figuratively. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos.